Hello, guys. Eric here, your final expense expert. I wanted to talk about a very popular subject today, you guys, which is why personally I do not recommend telesales, working from home, selling final expense, over the phone. Why I personally don't recommend it, right? There's people I'm sure out there that have success. I applaud them and I respect that. For me, we all have different tastes and different, you find out what's for you and what isn't. And I'm not just talking about because of what I do, but actually I did it. During COVID, we had to do phone calls there for a few months on lockdown. So I had a good experience as to what the telesales life is, if you will, selling final expense. And let me tell you, it wasn't that fun. We were very, very happy and eager to get out to the field as soon as things opened up. We were out there happy doing our thing like we always have been. But it's been 5 years since then, and what I saw back then, it still holds true today. So I want to go over a few things as to why I personally wouldn't recommend for you to go out there and sell final expense, or any life insurance over the phone, right? The first reason why is because you will have a low contract, right? Guys, if this company is going to train you, they're going to provide you tools like a calling service, obviously all the support that you need. You're going to get a low contract, right? So that's one thing that, since they are providing all these tools for you, you can expect to have a low contract. And obviously, most of the time, you're going to be working with free leads if you're working with a company that actually knows what they're doing, to be honest with you. And so they're going to give you free leads. So they actually got to make up the fact that they're giving you free leads. And how do they do that? Well, by giving you a low contract, right? For example, we had a stint where my company was doing telesales. And I respected what that team did. I really look up to what they did, and it ended up not working out. But I've actually talked to some people that were there, went to the field sales now, and they're having success actually. And some of them barely were getting started. Some of them never officially got started, or some did get a taste of it. But right off the bat, they doubled their contracts from what they were getting before, right? So that's the first thing, is that when you're doing over the phones, with most opportunities, as far as I know, is going to be a low contract, right? Because of all the support, all the free leads that they're providing you, and it's just going to be a lower contract when you're working over the phone, right? Another thing is that quality of leads is very low, right? They have to give you a lot of data, a lot of people to talk to. So the lead quality is going to be low. So you can expect people to hang up on you all the time. You can expect people to, say, I never asked for this, right? Don't call me, take me off the list. So it's going to be more frustrating doing over the phone when you finally, after hours of dialing, I was there in 2020, and finally someone answers, and then they immediately say they're not interested. They never asked for information, take me off the list. And you don't even get to sometimes remind them, and they just hang up on you. And it can be frustrating. Now, again, kudos to those that can do it successfully and know, ways to get their attention and don't hang up. But it is a fact that you are going to get low quality leads when you're doing telesales remote from home, right? Another thing is that there's no residuals in, at least from what I do know from most companies that I've talked to and agents that I know that have done telesales in the past, is that there's no residuals, right? They can't afford to, again, give you all this support, give you all these tools, and pay you residual income. Me personally, I wouldn't even be in this business, to be honest, if it wasn't for the residual income, right? Right now in 2025, you guys, I'm still getting paid from clients I sold back in 2015, my first year here with the company. So 10 years later, they keep making their payments. I keep getting paid. When you're doing telesales, they just can't afford to do it, right? Your managers will get it, but you won't, right? But another thing with telesales is that it's very stressful. Guys, right now, I commute an hour from home, hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes, right? Even more, and sometimes, or even out of state. And I commute home and I get home, it is what it is, normal day, not a big deal. Let me tell you, when I was doing telesales in 2020, calling leads, calling people, at the time I had an apartment, and I was commuting just across the hallway to the little business center they had there in the apartment that I can, book out for myself. And that hallway, 20 steps, you guys, or less, was more stressful going home. I felt more of a relief going home and hugging my kids and kissing my wife than when I do every day now, is, or that I've done for the last 10 years, knocking on doors, coming home, not a big deal, right? But I just remember like thinking like, wow, I need a beer. Like these phone calls, these people just hanging up on you when you're pressing for the social or the account number or on the close. In person, people are more, they're not going to be as rude. They're not just going to ask you to leave the house, and they can see you and get to meet you, get a better vibe for you as well, a better feel for you. So it's more of a pleasant conversation, if you will, right? More trust, and they're willing to move forward with the process more. And you can honestly just, also do your sales thing, be a sales professional, charge them up, or charm them up. I'm sorry, and get the job done, right? But that's one thing. I will further explain that too. Again, I've seen people do telesales here and there. And I remember this one gentleman who was just phenomenal, right? A lot of sales experience. And that's one thing, that if you come to this business with no sales experience, good luck. Like, to sell life insurance and how we do it and what we need to do to sell and close, it takes a lot of experience. Most of the time, they won't hire you if you don't have any type of sales experience or any sales experience, period. They're not going to want to work with you because they know that the skill level needs to be high to be able to get the results that they need from you and that you're looking for yourself, right? But I remember a gentleman who's doing phenomenal, being a top producer actually, a lot of the times. And I would remember, I would be like, I would ask like, hey, where's, such and such? I haven't seen them in the charts, right? We see the numbers of everybody and stuff in the team. And then I remember learning about his situation is like, oh yeah, he's great, but he'll work like 3 weeks to 4 weeks maybe, and take like 2 or 3 weeks off, right? It's just so stressful. He goes hardcore. He's working 50, 60, 70 hours a week, on the phone all day, so it takes a toll on him. So he's great, he likes it, but then he has to take 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off, because of all the stress that has accumulated from those long days, calling people, just stressful, being on the phone, being in front of the laptop and all that, right? So that's the thing, is that you can't be consistently just working something where you need to take 2 or 3 weeks off to decompress from your job. Is that really the lifestyle that you want? I know I don't, right? And I can do this on a regular basis. I go out and knock doors week after week, day after day, without stressing, without worrying about it, without having to decompress and have to take multiple vacations a quarter. It's just not something that we have to do here when we're dealing face to face with people, right? Another thing is that those systems are usually not duplicatable, right? There's so many products sometimes that you got to learn about, and to teach it and duplicate it, if you want to create an agency, it's a lot of work, right? I don't envy the people that do it successfully. It's a lot of work, that they do, long days, long nights, fixing systems, overcoming problems, technical difficulties with phone systems sometimes, and all these things that is really not duplicatable with success long term. It's my opinion, right? And another thing is that the people that I do know that have been successful in telesales, because I talk about the stressful factor of it, they become successful at telesales with the means of becoming a manager, having their own agency, so then they can recruit people, right? So for example, I'm a manager, I have several successful agents, but I still sell, and at a high level, right? I still have the time, one, to sell personally, take care of my clients and work new leads and go see people. And two, it's not a grind for me. It's a grind, don't get me wrong, but it's enjoyable, if you will. It's not like I'm burdened and like dragging my feet and forcing myself to do it. And what I've seen is people that do become in telesales, they're skilled, they have great systems, they have great training, but they want to become management as soon as possible, or have their own agency as soon as possible, because they know they cannot continue living that lifestyle and always grinding the phone out, right? So what that becomes is that they start mining the miners, right? So like, if you remember back in the gold rush era, the people who got the richest were people who were actually providing services to the miners who are trying to find the gold, right? And that's kind of similar here. For the most part, I could be wrong here, but the agency is going to make money, the management is going to make money, but the people who have the low contract, who have no residuals, they're the ones who are really funneling the money up to their management. And you can say that true about everyone, all sales. But I'm telling you, here, I know many managers that they have a big team, but they still sell. They still enjoy selling. It's not like they do it for a means to stop selling. Unlike in telesales, where again, everyone that I personally know that has been successful, left the actual selling and became a coach and a teacher, which is great. And they've trained some people that are successful. But as we know, especially in telesales, a high turn rate where it's just not, it wasn't for them. They didn't make it happen, and they're on to the next venture, right? So that's another thing about that. Another thing, you guys, is that laws change. Okay. Recently this year, they made the FCC made other adjustments as to who you can call and not call, and all these things. Do not call list obviously exist. You can get in big trouble calling the wrong person, a low quality lead. They didn't make sure that they were on the do not call list, and they get in trouble and they get sued, right? And that's where you need E&O insurance, and they might not cover everything, and you might get in trouble. The company says, hey, that wasn't my lead, that's your problem, you deal with it, I'm not going to pay up $500,000. And now you have a lawsuit that you can get in big trouble with, right? When, for example, in my case, we have leads that the company provides, legally compliant leads that they ask for information that we're told were coming, and we show up to get the job done, right? So that's one thing that I would not want to get in trouble by the authorities, risking the lawsuit, getting in trouble with all that, right? Again, these are my opinions, you guys. I'm not an expert in it. I did do it. I did experience it. I'm just telling you why I wouldn't do it personally. You do what you think is best for you. I admire and respect the folks that are doing it. But again, for all the things I mentioned is why I believe, face to face, knocking on the door the old school way with these seniors. I do prefer that way. It's a much smarter idea to sell final expense, right? And most life insurance products at that as well. So again, just my thoughts, my opinions. I want to thank you guys for checking this out. And you see my contact information below, guys. If you're looking for opportunity to change your life, get your hands on some residual income, get a decent paying contract with leads that the company provides and finance to you, please reach out in my contact information below. I appreciate a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys. I look forward to seeing you guys at the top. Have a great day.